Today is Friday, February 1st. What to know about the Super Bowl this Sunday, from the controversies to the commercials. Plus, any progress as we near another government shutdown, and what new thing you might see in the Uber app. Welcome to the Newsworthy. All the day's news in less than 10 minutes. Fast, fair, fun, and on the go. I'm Erica Mandy. Thanks so much for being here. You ready? Let's do this. We start today with the Super Bowl because the big game is this Sunday and about 100 million people are expected to watch. The Los Angeles Rams and New England Patriots will go head-to-head in Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. CBS Sports says this will be the second time those two teams play each other in the Super Bowl. The last time was in 2002. The Rams coach, Sean McVay, is the youngest head coach in the league, while the Patriots coach, Bill Belichick, and quarterback Tom Brady have been to 9 Super Bowls together. In fact, it's the Patriots' third year in a row to reach the Super Bowl, and the team's 11th Super Bowl overall, the most in NFL history. But maybe you just watch for the commercials. CNBC says CBS charged a record-breaking $5.25 million for a 30-second ad this year. Budweiser bought more than 6 minutes of airtime. Of course, there's also the halftime show to watch for. Maroon 5 will be performing, joined by Travis Scott and Big Boy the Rapper. Although some critics have said they should refuse to perform because of how the NFL handled some players kneeling during the national anthem. The band's frontman, Adam Levine, told Entertainment Tonight those players' voices will be heard, and that's all he'll say about it, so he doesn't spoil anything. Stay tuned. Oh, and there's another controversy that will surely be talked about this weekend. The game that meant the Rams went to the Super Bowl over the New Orleans Saints. Many people agree officials missed 2 obvious penalties late in that game, but the NFL commissioner said this week the officials are human, and it's part of the game. And so it is the Rams and the Patriots. The Super Bowl is on CBS at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time this Sunday. Relief is coming to the Midwest after days of brutally cold and record-breaking temperatures. But now a pretty drastic warm-up is on the way. The AP says temperatures could go up by 80 degrees this weekend. That means places like Illinois, who saw temperatures of negative 33 this week, could be at nearly 50 degrees by Monday. But this weekend's sudden warm-up could cause some issues as well. The Weather Channel says the freezing and sudden thawing causes a lot of stress on pipes and pavement and can lead to cracks and potholes. So watch out. The countdown continues to another possible government shutdown. It might happen again if Congress does not make a deal on border security in the next 2 weeks. Remember, the short-term spending bill funding the government right now is only good until February 15th. But at this point, it seems both parties still aren't budging. The AP reports House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said there still won't be any money for a border wall, but she does say she's open to different types of fencing. Meantime, President Trump tweeted he knows Democrats will not give him the money for the, quote, desperately needed wall. A group of lawmakers from both parties are still negotiating. Stay tuned. Speaking of the border, NBC News says the largest fentanyl seizure in U.S. history happened this week. That's an opioid blamed for most overdose deaths in the U.S. Officers say there was more than 250 pounds of fentanyl, as well as nearly 400 pounds of meth. President Trump has pointed to the drugs coming over the U.S.-Mexico border as a serious problem and a reason for the wall. But it was a drug-sniffing dog, not a wall, that found and stopped these drugs hidden in a truck heading through a checkpoint. Experts have said that's how many of the drugs actually get through. President Trump has said he wants to pull troops out of Afghanistan and Syria, but lawmakers in the Senate, the Republican-controlled Senate, made a strong statement this week voting to show they disagree. Fox News reports the Senate voted 68-23 for an amendment opposing the removal of troops, and it's a rare thing to see so many Republicans openly go against the president like that. Those lawmakers say ISIS is still a serious threat to the U.S., and removing troops could risk national security. President Trump, on the other hand, has said the troops should come home because ISIS has been defeated. In fact, it was more liberal Democrats who agreed with the president on bringing troops home. But here's the thing. The vote is really just symbolic at this point, a way for senators to go on record with their opinions. The amendment is part of a larger Middle East bill that is not likely to become law. There's still a lot of work to be done, but the U.S. and China seem to be at least a bit closer to a landmark trade deal. Reuters reports the president is optimistic the two countries will come to an agreement after 2 days of high-level talks this week. President Trump says China has already made some promises, like to buy a lot of America's agricultural products like soybeans. But the New York Times says Trump's chief trade negotiator was a bit more cautious about how much progress was actually made. Either way, the U.S. and China need to make a deal by March 2nd, or else another round of tariffs on $200 billion worth of Chinese imports will go into effect. Another high-level meeting is expected later this month. More news still ahead, but a quick break for today's sponsor, Social Media Marketing World. It's an event just like it sounds, great for anyone involved with social media and marketing who wants to make sure they're keeping up with the industry and using all the latest tactics. I'm honored to be moderating some of the sessions this year with the world's leading experts in the industry. It's happening this March in San Diego, so join me and let me know if you're coming. We'll be sure to connect. Just go to thenewsworthy.com/social media event. That's thenewsworthy.com/social media event to buy your tickets. Now, back to the news. Heads up, 2 recalls to tell you about. First, NBC News says a recall of infants' ibuprofen has been expanded. Some bottles at stores like Walmart and CVS may have higher concentrations than what's on the label. The drug company says no reports of injuries, but it could be a problem if a baby is already sensitive to the pain medicine. Also, 36,000 pounds of Tyson chicken nuggets have been recalled because they could have rubber in them. And USA Today says over the last 2 weeks, Purdue recalled chicken nuggets twice. You can find the details of all the recalls in today's show notes. Skyrocketing sales for e-cigarette brand Juul. Reuters reports the company had $1 billion in sales in 2018. That's compared to just $200 million the year before. Some say Juul's e-cigarettes are a safer alternative to regular cigarettes, but the company has also faced a lot of scrutiny. They've grown really popular with teenagers, and the FDA calls it an epidemic. Federal health officials even made Juul get off of social media recently and stop selling some flavored products, worried Juul was marketing to teens. The changes could impact the company's sales in 2019. We'll see. Uber wants to be a one-stop shop for all things transportation, and this week the company took another step. It's adding public transportation to the Uber app. The Verge says users will be able to see real-time bus and rail info and eventually buy train tickets right from the Uber app. It's starting just with the city of Denver and then should expand from there. Critics have said Uber takes money away from public transportation, so this is Uber's solution. Even though Uber may not make money when users choose a bus or train at this point, Uber thinks it's good for the brand. And of course, Uber can offer a bike, scooter, or car ride to get you to the train or bus. Ariana Grande got a new tattoo on the palm of her hand that says Tiny Barbecue Grill. Yeah, that was an accident. CNN says the singer meant to get a tattoo with the title of her new single, 7 Rings, but the Japanese-style tattoo was missing some symbols, and her fans quickly let her know that changes the meaning. But she has since shown her fans she got it fixed. And a reminder, starting today, you can see the award-winning superhero movie Black Panther in theaters for free. Disney says the second run of the movie is a celebration of Black History Month, which starts today. Mashable reports there will be 2 free showings a day in hundreds of theaters around the country over the next week. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. And of course, if you want to read more about the stories we talked about today, just go to the homepage of thenewsworthy.com. From there, click episodes and look for today's date. The Newsworthy is ready for you to listen every weekday by 4 in the morning. I'll be back with more news on Monday. Have a great weekend.